welcome to Gilbert's here.
Yes.
This is Christopher James with Taylor Reed.
Hey,
now,
good to finally meet you, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
I've been hearing a lot of great things about you for years as well.
Well, thanks a lot. You know, I don't know if you know this, but your show was the very first show I ever saw in Branson.
Cool.
You were at the theater by the Branson Walmart there.
Absolutely, yeah, the Branson Mall back in the day.
Yeah, and the very first night I was here,
Yeah.
somebody from our show at the Showboat said, we got to go see a show, and he thought I would like to go see a magic show, which he doesn't realize that I don't want to watch it on my time off. And so I came out, and we saw your show with the poodles.
And all that, Kind of retired the poodles now, but I had the standard poodles in the show for a long time.
Yeah, you had them not that long ago when I saw
I still have some poodles, but I've decided to kind of let them, you know, because they're getting, one of them's getting really old, and we had another one that passed away here a while back. He was my best performing dog, so I thought,
your best poodle.
Yeah, so I thought, well, I'm just gonna kind of ease back from the animal bit. You know?
Right. Well, you let them free. Like I heard of somebody else around here that let their tigers go to a sanctuary. So you let the poodles roam
I'm just
free.
gonna let them hang out in my house.
Be
My
wild
wife's a big fan of animals, so. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I want to talk about your background a little bit, and I've researched you a little bit, and I know that you were a drummer.
Okay. Yes.
Right. And you were doing that for quite a while.
A long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were from Vegas, like you were living in Vegas for a while.
For a long time.
How long did you live in Vegas?
In Vegas for 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah. And I started I started off in Texas, if you want to go kind of back to the beginning. Started off as a child, about 4 or 5 years old. Christmas tree is kind of where the magic kit started from. But I was also into playing drums because my father was a kind of a music teacher. He taught drums, piano, guitar, sax. He was kind of pretty good at every instrument, but not great at any of them. Just good enough to teach children how to play on this.
He could have his own show.
There you go. There you go. So he kind of taught me the basic beats on a drum, and I kind of played drums for many years with my father's band. He is a hobbyist player, performer, and he made most of his money, and the real job was in real estate. But he loved the arts, so I was a drummer my whole life, basically.
Yeah.
And I moved to Vegas in 1986 to be a magic star, hopefully. That was my dream. And, of course, that didn't pan out as well as I wanted, but my father said, you may want to take your drum set as a backup plan.
Right.
And I think it was 2 weeks into Vegas, I was already playing all the lounges in Vegas.
Yeah.
Making like $500 a week as a 19-year-old, and I was pretty happy. I mean, that was not bad money at a 19-year-old kid. And I was kind of enjoying the moment as being a drummer and entertainer, kind of singing background in bands.
Yeah.
And a lot of girlfriends. They like musicians more than magicians, by the way. That was pretty fun.
Yeah,
good
I think
times.
that's pretty standard, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of good times. But my real passion is magic, though. And at some point, I finally said, I'm going to just give the drums up. No more singing and playing drums. 100% magic or nothing. So.
Right. But you had the stereotypical getting a magic kit as a kid.
Absolutely.
Sort of
that's kind of where it started for me.
Yeah.
It seems to be the story for most,
You
right?
would think. It's not for me.
No?
Like, no.
Yeah.
Well, I did tricks when I was younger, but I got a little bit older and saw some people doing tricks, and people really liked it. And I'm like, well, I think I could do that.
Yeah.
You know, so gave it a shot, but a lot of practice. Now, when you got started, when you were still in Texas, did you do the whole birthday circuit?
Oh, absolutely. I started off doing like McDonald's, actually. When one of the first McDonald's that ever hit Texas, I was the little birthday party magic guy in the back.
Oh, really? Like when they had birthday parties at the McDonald's?
Yeah, or we would just book them that way. You know, it was kind of cutting edge stuff back in the day. I'm way old, you know. So, and we would do magic everywhere from, you know, wedding parties to, you know, birthday parties at people's homes. And eventually I was fortunate enough because my father was a realtor. He had a lot of little properties around the town, and he decided, why don't we make a little magic shack place for people to come see us? And I'm like, hey, that's cool.
Right.
Of course, remembering that he's a hobbyist entertainer as well at the time. He's a singer and all. So we set up a little magic theater to where all they'd have to bring is the cake and the children. So it was kind of fun. It's kind of like a little Cece's Pizza thing of the time.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And we did like magic birthday parties for like $150. Bring the cake, and we'll give you the show.
Yeah.
And it was fun because we were able to give them illusions as opposed to just small tricks because we had our own little place.
So did your dad help build all that?
Absolutely, yeah. And he used
illusions?
it a lot for his, well, he used the theater a lot for his gig as well. Like he would do big roasts for real estate conventions, and they would play their music there and all. So it was kind of I got lucky the fact that he had the entertainment bug, so we both kind of got to live the dream for a long time that way.
Kind of like your own little magic castle thing.
There you go.
Yeah, wouldn't it be awesome? I would love to do that in Branson, have a place like that.
It was nice. My dad's quite the businessman as well. He was able to get Stan Irwin, which was Johnny Carson's personal manager, to fly out and see my show when I was 13.
What?
And Stan Irwin said, I need to bring a consultant with me, someone that knows magic. So believe it or not, he brought the great Tom Sony with him.
Oh, yeah.
With Johnny Thompson.
Johnny, yeah.
And Johnny Thompson and Stan Irwin came and watched my show, and I was about 13. They were semi-impressed. I don't know how impressed, but they kind of wanted to manage me at the time. And for some reason or another, my father decided against it because it was, I think, a lot of money. But I think my father said, "I'll do it if you can get him on the Carson show," and they couldn't confirm that.
Right.
I think he said, "You were going to pass."
So how old were you when you moved to Vegas then?
I moved to Vegas when I was around 19 years old.
Oh wow, that's really young to move to Vegas.
Cutting edge to 20. I moved out there with a friend of mine. I had been going out to Vegas most of my life with my father on vacation, my mom and dad, and I got to see Siegfried and Roy, Copperfield, Circus, anything magic. I was all over it, just loving it. Even though back in the 70s when I was a kid, Vegas was not a good place for children.
Right.
So we had to wear like pinstripe suits and fake mustaches. I have some really cool stories.
Disguise.
Yeah. My dad was such a cool guy to hook me up with Siegfried and Roy, David Copperfield. He would persistently call their agents and managers and said, "Hey, my kid's a hobbyist magician. Can he just take a picture with you?"
Right.
And they're like, "Just leave us alone." And he'd say, "Come on." He would drive them nuts, and they'd finally say, "Hey, go meet the kid."
Leave us alone.
Yeah,
leave us alone. We'll take a
Siegfried
picture.
would go, Roy, if Taylor Reed comes, kick him out the back door.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, it was a great experience because we got to meet a lot of celebrities and stuff at a young age. And I'm quite the creator, so I was always kind of like creating magic tricks as a child. Nowadays, we've got all these little wizards on computers. And in my day, there were no computers. Nobody had laptops. So I would just create magic on paper. And so when I had the chance to meet Siegfried or Copperfield and these guys, they would say, what do you got here? And I would sit and show them all my blueprints. And that kind of intrigued them. So that was very interesting at a young age to get to not just meet them, but have them want to continue to be my friend because I had some goodies here.
Yeah, that's kind of good.
It was
background. And you were there, I remember in the mid to late 80s, that's when they tried to make it family friendly. Yeah, in Vegas. They put in the water parks. And
they put a theme park in, and I did 1,000 shows at the MGM theme park. Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. I wonder if I saw you. Because we went, during that time, we went to every show. Because they were just trying to attract the kids and stuff. But as you were saying, it's changed so much with the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about a little bit, because you've been through that whole thing. You and I were just talking about technology and stuff.
Absolutely.
So we'll talk about that in just a couple minutes. This is Christopher James with Taylor Reed, and we'll be back in a minute.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you for supporting All Things Branson. Be sure to subscribe and stay in touch on Facebook and Twitter. Check back at allthingsbranson.com for the latest news about Branson, Missouri.